Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to News Hour live on GBC News, your news and governance channel. We are also live on GTV and streaming on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Micheline Taka. You welcome. President Akufo-Addo has ended his tour of the AHAFO region with the inauguration and inspection of various projects. The projects include the AHAFO RCC office complex, the Nobekwao Sankore Road, a dormitory block for the Shidiem Senior High School, and the Sunafo South District Assembly Office Complex. The president also paid courtesy calls on 4 paramount chiefs in the region. Hear that story in the course of the bulletin. Torrential rains has cut off the Wa-Nadoli highway, leaving hundreds of vehicles and passengers stranded. The rain caused extensive damage to the road between SERIKPERE and Nadoli. This makes it impossible for vehicles and passengers to move from Wa to Nadoli and vice versa. Well, we will bring you that story too still in the course of the bulletin. In other news, at least 100,000 people above 18 years and living in COVID-19 hotspot areas in the Greater Accra and Kumasi will receive the Johnson & Johnson vaccine from Monday the 16th of August to Friday the 20th of August 2021. However, priority will be given to the aged and persons with underlying health conditions. The Greater Accra Regional Health Directorate, Dr. Charity Sapun, disclosed this at a news conference in Accra. Sarah Ofori came through with this report.
The vaccination exercise follows the arrival of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines last week. The expanded program for immunization after taking delivery of the vaccines are deploying them to the hotspots of the Greater Accra and Kumasi, where high numbers of new cases are reported daily. Dr. Charity Sapon is the Greater Accra Regional Health Director.
We are starting it fully from Monday, which is 16th August through to 20th August. And as for the Greater Accra region, we are going to be able to ensure that at least 100,000 people are vaccinated with this Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And these districts are mainly Accra Metro, Tema Metro, Okaikwe North, Ablekuma Central, Katamanso, and then also we have Adenta and Gar South. In all our district hospitals, it will be rolled out. And the only thing that we would like to stress is that when you are going, you must take an ID card that will identify who you are. And apart from your ID card, also make sure that you have eaten.
The Johnson & Johnson vaccines is a single-dose vaccine meant for those who have not been vaccinated at all. They are to visit the district hospitals in the aforementioned districts to get vaccinated. Pregnant women are, however, exempted from vaccinating. Meanwhile, Dr. Sapon encouraged the public to continue to observe the safety protocols. Sarah Ofori, GBC News, Accra.
At Kumasi, the Ashanti region, the vaccination exercise started at all 7 designated centers, where 40,000 people are expected to be vaccinated in the next 7 days.
The Ashanti region took delivery of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine on Thursday, August 12, 2021, and deployed to all the 7 centers in the metropolis, where over 40,000 people are expected to be vaccinated. The Kumasi Metropolitan Disease Control Officer, Mr. Kingsley Echiahini Aprechum, said the vaccines are meant for people who have not been vaccinated at all.
We are doing the vaccination in health facilities for now. So within the health facility, we have medical staff on standby. And then if you get your vaccination, you don't move out immediately. We expect you to sit with us for some 10 to 15 minutes, so that if there is any untoward reaction, the medical team on standby will manage you. And so far, we haven't had any of such situations. Those who are not yet vaccinated are eligible. If you have taken the first dose of the COVID shield, this is not your turn at the moment. we'll have to plead with you to wait. We'll get the second dose for the COVID shot, they will come for it.
At the St. Trussell Government Hospital, a little over 100 people had taken the jab as at 1:30 p.m. The medical director, Dr. Ejakupoku, allayed fears of side effects of the vaccine.
I'm sure people bear witness that the first one we did, nobody died out of it. And that should encourage people to come for the vaccine. It's very safe as we vaccinate children. It's the same way we are vaccinating adults. So if you have been able to vaccinate over 900,000 people and nobody died out of it, it tells you that it's smooth, it's very safe, and people should come for it.
On the streets of Accra, GBC News has sampled the views of people on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. They entreated all first-timers to take advantage of the exercise.
One may not know when he or she may be infected, so I would want to be vaccinated.
I encourage people to take it because you don't know what will happen. So you have to take it. Then you take good care of yourself and then your children.
I will take the vaccine as I did for yellow fever.
I'm ready for the vaccine at any time.
Everyone must ensure to receive the vaccine because it will help reduce the infection rate.
To those who have had your first jab and you are waiting for your second jab, please do so. And kindly pay attention to the informations and the itinerary. So when it gets to your area, you are able to also ensure that you are vaccinated.
The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association has cautioned nurses across the country not to indulge in activities that dent the image of the profession on social media. This follows a video of a nurse in uniform purported to be twerking and making unsavory pronouncements that went viral on social media. These were disclosed at the ongoing 4-day boot camp for every 100 youth nurses and midwives from across the regions, which also coincided with the International Youth Day. Sarah Ofori with the details.
Over the years, there have been public outcry about the attitude of nurses and midwives towards their patients while caring for them. Since about 60% of nurses and midwives in the country are said to be in their youthful ages, the association believes it is prudent to prepare them to take up the mantle from the older generation without bringing the image of the profession into disrepute. Over 100 nurses and midwives from across the country are participating in a 4-day boot camp which will, among other things, boost their capacity. Addressing the audience, the Chief Nursing and Midwifery Officer of the Greater Accra, Mrs. Cecilia Opon-Prepra, implored the nurses and midwives to find innovative solutions to local needs through the use of science and technology. The country head of the United Nations Youth Association, Ms. Lillian Sally Addo, encouraged the nurses and midwives to continue to upgrade their skills, socialize and network among their peers and seniors to enable them to improve on their outputs. She further advised them on the responsible use of social media.
So as nurses, let's not try to slay queens. I mean, like, if you want, the word even slay is a good term. Slay in the world. Not slay queens on social media. For every way you see yourself, for every passion or every profession that you take, you have to acquire mastery. You have to focus and say that this is what I want to achieve, this is what I want to do, and tell yourself that I'm going to be a master in this game.
While cautioning its members that inappropriate behavior will not be condoned, the president of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, Mrs. Perpetua Ofori-Ampofo, advised the nurses and midwives against relegating their duties to render care to patients to their caregivers and relatives.
It's about our mindsets, it's about our own attitudes. Simple things that you have been taught over the years that can help your patients and your clients. What stops you from implementing them? You're waiting for a doctor to come and tell you do this or do that. And sometimes when doctors have planned their care, and that is what you are following,
And you need to also implement your nursing and midwifery plan based on what is being done. What happens? Some of us are not being assertive and sometimes are too laid back. If you are sleeping, the time to wake up is now.
The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association called on government to fulfill its promises of paying its members the medical insurance and compensations for those who got infected with COVID-19, some of whom are critically ill, as well as honor the 50% allowance for the frontline health workers. SERIKPERE, GBC News, Accra.
Members of the Ghana National Association of Poultry Farmers in the Ashanti region have appealed to the government to subsidize the cost of poultry feed to help farmers increase the production of birds in the country to meet growing local demand. They made the appeal when GBC News visited some poultry farms in the Ashanti region in the wake of the bird flu outbreak and the high cost of maize and poultry feed. The Food and Agriculture Ministry, through the Veterinary Services, confirmed the outbreak of the bird flu in some parts of the country a few weeks ago, particularly in the Greater Accra, Central and Volta regions, and recently the Ashanti region. As a result, the Veterinary Services Directorate has taken measures to ensure that affected farms are disinfected. Veterinary officers have also been deployed to various farms to ensure that affected birds are isolated and destroyed. GBC News visited some poultry farms in the Ashanti region to ascertain how poultry farmers are preventing the spread of the bird flu on their farms and what efforts they have put in place to prevent the further spread of the bird flu. At the Bossway Farms at Ejiso, which has about 24,000 birds, the farm manager, Mr. Thomas Adom, enumerated challenges affecting the industry.
Insurance no ne bibia so obia wo be adwuma we na ka insurance no na di kan kra wo ombe ya ma aha no me na me ka insurance no aka wo mo se wo betumi age sa adwuma ye.
At the Osebi Unique Farms Limited at Kubiase, the manageress, Mrs. Harriet Roberta Osei, outlined measures implemented to prevent the spread of the flu. She said many of the workers have been laid off, while over 50,000 of the birds have been sold for lack of feed.
There is no maize, no soya to prepare the feed for them. So looking at it, we realized that instead of the birds to go bad and then you lose everything, it is better for us to sell them than to make the birds look horrible.
The president of the Ghana National Association of Poultry Farmers, Mr. Victor Oponwe, commended the Veterinary Services Directorate for the measures instituted to curb the spread of the virus in the region. He said the unavailability and high cost of feed in the industry is a big challenge.
Looking at the current trend of the poultry industry, I can say that the industry is going down. It is on the verge of collapse. We've seen most farmers selling their birds prematurely because of lack of feed for the birds. This has basically been because the basic components of the feed, the maize, the soya, and the wheat bran, and in all, the prices have gone up over 100%.
The lack of adequate educational infrastructure in the Ewutu Senya Breku traditional area has affected the growth and development of the traditional area. The Omahene of Ewutu Senya Breku traditional area has therefore extended a call to all citizens of Ewutu Senya Breku, both at home and abroad, to come home and support the development of their community and the town.
The people of Ewutu Breku are believed to have migrated from Central Africa and at a point on their sojourn came across the sea along the Gulf of Guinea and walked along the shore to the central region. First, They settled in Dampase, now known as Langma, Ayawaso, and later their final settlement in Autu-Breku in the central region. A predominantly farming community and perilineal in lineage and inheritance, the people of Autu have over the years not been inclined to education, which has affected the development of the people.
We have way left behind in terms of development, because the mentality was that if, as a royal, I don't have to go to school for me to be whipped. This time, the story has changed. Whether you like it or not, we have no option than to pursue education.
The traditional area has 105 towns and villages, with only 3 senior high schools in the communities of the traditional area, namely Obrachwe, Ofako, and Autu. Primary schools here are also scattered and with a long commute, making it difficult for children to go to school. All the 4 police posts and clinics are in a rented premises, with 1 polyclinic, which is the Bojiase Polyclinic, that serves the entire traditional area. The Ankobwahini of Autu Traditional Council, Nei Odinkulabi Okaing VII, said Nananum are doing everything possible to ensure that the future generation benefits from a good education.
We were in the other day, Sunday, we even see Busium. He
appealed to the citizens of Autu-Breku to come home and support the growth of their communities and the entire Autu traditional area. As a predominantly farming community, the people of Autu-Breku celebrate the Awobia Festival, which is the wheat festival marked during the last Thursday of August to the first Thursday in September. Though the 2021 festival will be low-key, the Traditional Council plans to launch an educational endowment fund to help develop the Autu-Breku traditional area. For GBC News, Mavis Ofei Champon reporting.
Bridging the skill gap facing Ghana is the ultimate drive of Pando Technical Institute, but the lack of basic amenities is affecting the realization of this dream. Thankfully, Pando Technical Institute Old Students Association has gone to the aid of the girls at the institute by providing them with a 24-seater place of convenience.
The Pando Technical Institute, located in the Volta region, was officially opened for teaching and learning on 22nd March 1956 with 70 male students and 8 teachers. The institute began the academic year with just 4 programs. Currently, the school has an enrollment of 2,563, made up of 1,886 boys and 677 girls, with a staff strength of 169. At present, the school offers over 18 programs. The school is presently facing challenges with its water system, as the only mechanized borehole is not in use. The school is also faced with the challenge of rehabilitating its dining hall, which was built over 60 years ago. A dire challenge that has been addressed recently is the KVIP. This was done by the past students of the Pando Technical Institute. The principal of the Pando Technical Institute, Mr. Samuel Avevo, said despite the numerous challenges of the school registered a 70% and 91% pass mark in the 2019 and 2020 external examination.
The 2020 result is an improvement on the 2019 one. There is a remarkable improvement in the core subjects, which hitherto had been problems to candidates. The results of the elective subjects were also excellent in most cases. The overall percentage pass for 2020 is 91.29 as compared to the 2019 one, which stood at 70%, making a positive variance of 21.92%. Pando Technical Institute is noted among the best schools in the region and nationwide.
The All Students Association, Pantosa, has commissioned a 24-unit girls' lavatory for the school. The president of the association, Major Retired Paul Amega, called on authorities of the institute to take responsibility in the maintenance of the facility.
We intend making other projects to enhance the living standard all the students of this great institute, and will not be revisiting the gas laboratory issue within a short or medium term period, since our concentration will be on the other projects we shall embark on.
Dr. George Afeti, a past student, lauded Pantosa for always being at the beck and call of the school, despite the challenges affecting individual businesses amidst the pandemic.
President Akufo-Addo has ended his tour of the AHAFO region with the inauguration and inspection of various projects. The projects include the AHAFO RCC office complex, the Nobekwa Sankori Road, a dormitory block for the Shidi Senior High School, and the Sunafo South District Assembly office block.
The president first visited the Omahini of Shidim, Nana Osudum Jaberma Apiedjabwafo. The Omahini appealed to the president to get the town roads and the Mabingoso stretch of the Tepagoso Highway asphalted. President Akufo-Addo said he will ensure that the roads in the area are constructed. The president's next port of call was the Shidium SHS, where he inaugurated a new girls' dormitory block with accommodation for the house mistress. The project was funded by the Middle Belt Development Authority. The president and his entourage then moved to the AHAFO regional capital, Goso. At the Goso Traditional Council, the Omahini Nanakwesi Busumpra called for action to improve the road network in the AHAFO area. He also condemned the interference by chiefs and some ruling party members in the work of the MCEs. The president gave the assurance that the AHAFO roads will be fixed.
Launching agenda 111 hospitals and 7 regional hospitals.
President Akufo-Addo also inspected ongoing works on the AHAFO RCC office complex. An official of the construction company said the building is 80% complete and is scheduled to be ready by October this year. President Akufo-Addo also inaugurated an office block for the Sunafo South District Assembly at Kukwom, the district capital. The president rounded up his tour with an inspection of work on the construction of the Nobekwa Sankori Road.
Torrential rains has cut off the Wa-Nadoli highway, leaving hundreds of vehicles and passengers stranded. The rain caused extensive damage to the road between SERIKPERE and Nadoli.
The Wa-Nadoli-Lora-Nandom Road is a main highway that links Ghana with Burkina Faso at Hamile. Apart from commercial vehicles, the road is used by articulated trucks mostly from the neighboring countries for transporting goods. Motorists and passengers were therefore stranded when the road got flooded.
When we came here, we cannot cross. So we thought that maybe the water may can go so that we pass. When the waterway, we saw that the bridge has divided, so we cannot pass. Easily one of the tipper truck even fell.
The free Kurana, you bedroom, and she nay you can see a daughter, as you enter vacan film, and as a transfer by Tria, Nankia film. And the Oha as a Tranana who say I started Ebu.
The Upper West Regional Director of the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Mr. Ahmed Mustafa, said though it has been raining in the last 3 days, he least expected the rain to cause such damage to the road. The regional manager of the Ghana Red Cross, who was at the scene to offer support, advised drivers with small vehicles against crossing to the other side of the road. In another development, the Sombodon-Diafama road has been cut off. For now, vehicles traveling to Laura, Nandom or Hamili may have to use the Wahan Tumu road, which is currently not in good condition.
The rehabilitation of the TONO irrigation scheme in Navrongo, capital of the Kastan and Kanat municipality of the Upper East region, valued at about $30 million, is almost complete. When completed, the irrigation scheme will be fully automated to reduce waste and create jobs for 6,000 farmers instead of 1,000. Our Upper East regional correspondent Samuel Ayama has more.
2 weeks of torrential rainfall in October 2019 washed away parts of the TONO irrigation facility, including the retaining walls, the spillway, the dam floor, and the embankment, causing the water to overflow the laterals and canals. The spillway was about 60 meters wide and 500 meters long. The spilled water submerged about 850 hectares of rice and vegetable farms in the area. The construction of the TONO irrigation project started in 1975 and was completed in 1985 to scale up agricultural production in the area. However, since then, it had never been rehabilitated, making the facility to operate below capacity. The rehabilitation of the multi-purpose TONO irrigation project at a cost of about $30 million started in 2018 and will be completed this year. The project, which had funding from the World Bank and USAID, was awarded to Top International Engineering Corporation, a Chinese construction firm. The facility will irrigate an area of about 4,000 hectares of farmlands. However, as a result of the breakdown of the major canals and laterals that carry water from the dam to farmlands, only 1,300 hectares of farmlands are being used. The modernization and the automation of the scheme include fixation of sensors, meters, flying of frequency and sending information from the laterals to the master control room. Other aspect of the scheme is also making sure that information about the level of water in the dam can be sent to the master control room. Speaking with GBC News, the managing director of the irrigation company of Upper Region, IRRIGATION, Dr. Benedict Bonaventure Aligibam, said, with the onset of the rainy season, trial runs of the equipment will be done.
The frequencies have already been flying, sensors have already been fixed. They're supposed to put batteries with the solar panels to be able to start the whole system. You can see by the master control room, a tower that's supposed to receive all the frequencies from the scheme. So with this, I'm sure that come the back season, we'll be flying high. We have 2 uplands, Zone O and Zone B, that are almost going to be fired up. And these are very premium areas we're going to use for vegetable production.
Dr. Aligibam, who commended the government and the sector minister for food and agriculture, Dr. Owusu Afriye Akoto, for saving the deteriorated irrigation scheme, said farmers at the scheme will be registered when it became fully operational.
We are doing a proper farmer database collection with a combo collect kit. That's an app. So we are registering the farmers and trying to get a database concretely to know the number of farmers. But we've been dealing with well about 2,500, 3,000 farmers. With the rehabilitation, there are areas that are now going to be co-opted into the scheme. They're going to be functional. We have an area of 44 hectares that was not part of the project, but that's going to be expanded to add to the 2,490 hectares that we're looking at.
An official of the Indian firm Executing the automation and instrumentation of the project, Mr. Santosh Rauch gave details about the new system.
As per demands, we supply the water to all user associations. Now all the stations are installed on the canals and we can monitor and control from a single place, that is called master control centers.
The ongoing construction works include rehabilitation of existing lined canals and associated hydraulic structures, construction of new lined and unlined canals and associated hydraulic works, upgrading and repair of existing earthen rows, clearing and widening of drains, repair of the dam wall and spillway, supply and installation of solar-powered pumps, instrumentation and automation system, which involves implementation of constant volume method of canal operation using solar-powered automated gates. The other aspect of the modernization includes automatic discharge meters, automatic water level recorders, integrated gates, irrigation outlets, partially automated gates, rain gauge, surveillance cameras, among others. The whole project will be fully automated when the project is complete. It means that any amount of water that will be sent to a farmer will be measured so that farmers can pay the right amount of money. The idea for ensuring payment is for the scheme to have enough money to maintain the secondary and tertiary canals that serve the farmers. When well implemented, the only burden on the government will be to repair the main canals every 30 years to maintain the secondary and tertiary canals. Apart from the creation of jobs for thousands of people, the project will also help the country cut down its rice import bill, currently pegged at $600 million. The project, when completed, will not only boost agriculture production in the Katsina, Nankana and Bulsa communities, but is expected to feed the new water treatment plant under construction at TONO, which, when completed, will provide potable water to Navrongo, Paga, Zwarungu, Bogatanga and its environs by the Ghana Water Company Limited. For GBC News, Samuel Ayama, TONO.
You're watching News Hour. Time to take a quick break. We'll be back shortly. Please, you stay.
Serving you breakfast a la carte.
It's a brand new packaged breakfast served on GTV.